This is my current VTuber design. As you can see, it is literally just a pick group. If you've been watching my channel for a while, you know it pretty well. Actually, it's only been 3 videos, but I don't want to use a pick group forever. I would prefer a design that feels a little more like me, using character design elements that aren't possible in a medium like pick group. In this video, I plan on using my improved character design skills to redesign my PNGtuber. What's my deal with the old design? First of all, it's mostly ripped straight from the pick group. All I added was an eye color change, a tie color change, and the position of the hair clips. Good start, but I want to do more. A majority of the outfits are school uniforms, and I only chose the green one because it fits my color scheme, and I like the hand pose. I didn't want to draw a new outfit on top of the body they gave me either. Do you think it's too obvious? I think it's too obvious. All in all, not the biggest fan. Doesn't feel like me, but I did see the potential. That's why I'm doing this in the first place. You want to know how I know? The one single piece of fan art I've gotten thus far. Shout out Momo Prune. The first thing I did right this time was make a design concept or draft before the PNGtuber. Seriously, how did I survive never planning beforehand? I made this a full body design in case anyone wants to draw that. The final PNG is going to be a half body, but it's nice to know what's under that line in case I need it for a thumbnail. I need more ideas to build off my current concept, and how do you gather images and see them all next to each other? Pinterest! Love Pinterest, if you couldn't tell. My boards are messy, but that's okay. One day before starting the design process, I started collecting images that happened to have my namesake in a Pinterest board, and eventually made another board just for this design. I found a lot of the elements I ended up using in this stage. Sometimes there were animals in the pins, so I made a little collage of my options and asked my friends which one is the most like me. Unanimous ferret. Okay, I see how it is. I'm not mad either, I like the little guys. In my HTML class, like 2 years ago, we were assigned animals to use as placeholders for assignments, and I got the humble ferret. I like ferret too. I don't know how I never thought of using these guys for my VTuber, but here we are. This is also where I found the idea of pink and polka dots. I really like this pattern. Using it makes the whole thing feel a lot more complete. Plus, seeing the dark green of the Clovers contrast with the pastel pinks made me even more confident in this design choice. For the outfit, I wanted something casual and cute. I found these overalls I used as reference. Remember this for later. You might be thinking, wow, the polka dots in your ears are so cute. Why, thank you. Well, that's not original either. I saw someone's OC in an art fight video do that first, and I was very inspired. For a little while, I was worried I would look too similar to fellow ferret VTuber Lime Malicious. White ferret, green and pink. She even has an outfit with overalls. But when I put us side by side, I realized I had nothing to worry about. Fun fact, this part is not scripted. I have bullet points, and I would make sentences with them. I don't feel like it, and it's a day after I'm supposed to post, so I was happy with this design, right? But I wanted to get some feedback on it. As it turns out, I'm in exactly one public Discord on my VTuber account, and there's a Threads channel, and it's specifically for art critiques and feedback. One more thing before we get into the device. There was a few people that gave me feedback, but I'm not gonna name them because you know how you should like ask people before you put them in a video? I'm too afraid to ask them because I said the video would be posted last week. More at this point because like it's Friday, not Thursday. Gulp. Alright, let's get into advice stuff. First thing someone said, pigtails that are like striped to, you know how farts are like that? Yeah, I think that was cute, but the thing is, the ones I have right now, they're like small, and I don't know if it would convey it that well. And as you can see in the speed paint, I was trying a lot of things in the speed paint, and by speed paint I mean last speed paint, and you did see like the big pigtails. I'll take a screenshot and I'll put it on screen. The thing is, it was, even though I like pigtails as a hairstyle, didn't look right on that design. Maybe I would have liked it more if I did the stripey thing, but I like what I have going on now, and I like the one I have currently. It's pretty unique. I don't think I see a lot of people with that. Next thing was like to try, I guess, more natural colors, like more down to earth, I guess is what they were saying. I don't have them pulled up right now, and frankly, I don't want to open Discord and go get them. I'm just gonna have everything put down. They linked a Pinterest board of the colors they thought of having me use. They also had like this color swatch based off of shiny ferret's color palette. That's another thing. They were like, oh, ferret, and I'm like, yeah, ferret. Oh yeah, that's what, I'm sorry, I should have brought this up earlier. That's why they suggested the ferret pigtails cut, is because you should look at ferret gajinkas. Like, that would be nice, but like, I don't know, I don't think that's what I'm going for. I mean, it could be good. It could be. I'm sorry, man. Gender neutral. I did not try it. I also didn't know how to use that palette they gave me. I feel like if I used it on my current design, it would be meh. But like, I guess to use it well, it would either have to be adjusted or I would like have to change the design. I'm not looking for huge tweaks. I mean, if I had to, I would. So that was that. I didn't know how to use that advice. I would have tried it, but I was like busy then. But after that, like someone came in swinging with, I used a lot of, if not like all of these things, and I think it worked for the better. First things first, something I didn't say, I changed the values of everything when I came into this, but like I knew something was off, but I didn't know how to do it, so I like changed some things, including the hair color. First thing person said, or at least I think it's the first thing because I put it first, original hair color was better. And like another thing with the value change, I changed like the stripes. In hindsight, and by hindsight I mean looking at them now, you can't see them. I tend to zoom in when I'm drawing, designing, all that, and I think I was just staring at that piece for too long. Honestly, that could have been it. The pink, to my dismay, was suggested, okay, mute that shit, and I'm like, fine, I'll do it, I'll try it. Ended up working. Like another problem I had, I should have mentioned this the first time, but you know what, it's fine. Like I had stripes on both the shirt and the socks, and I'm like, I know one of these needs to change, but I don't know what. This person helps me, said make the shirt ribbed. Now I had to look up what that meant, but I did, and then I'm like, oh, this is easier than I thought. I put vertical lines in the shirt and made it a little darker, and texture. We have texture now. On the little decal on the overalls, there, put a stem on it. I don't know how I didn't think of that. Like my thought was like to match the hair clips, but I like this as well. I like the thought process for clarity. I get that. Next up, oh my god, the structure of the overalls was so wrong. And I know it was like, it looked kind of more cartoony-ish, but like fixing it just helps me a lot. I had to send like the reference image I mentioned earlier. I also found another one. There were a few things they had in common. First of all, they have like belt-looking things. It's not supposed to flare out like that, you know? So I had to like make that belt-looking thing actually, cause like it's there because it's like a belt, and so I did that. Second of all, there was like something to connect the overalls to the thingy. Sorry guys, I don't know fashion terms. This person didn't either, so fine. Honestly, thinking about it right now, how did I forget that? I've worn overalls before. Like, I mean, I've never worn an overall skirt, but like the buttons, you're telling me I forgot buttons or like something? That's crazy. That's really funny. And there's a lot of stuff wrong that I didn't even realize. Like the frilly stuff, I just kind of did what I normally do for frilly stuff, but like that texture, I guess, didn't make sense. So I fixed that. I looked at the reference and I did all that. Something else I did was add a pocket, and like the person drew like two different versions, and I kind of combined both of them. I'm a little sad. I can't show it because I'm scared to ask them, hey guys, my video's late. Can I still credit you? Last thing that was suggested is to add, at least that I wrote down, is to add more brown to the tail. And I'm like, yeah, okay, I could do that. And so I did. I also added a few things of my own. I added that same brown to the ears. I also lightened that brown because I'm like, it blends in because it's like the same color and it's close to each other. So I made it lighter and it worked. And then also the buttons were just slightly different. Yeah, it's like small differences, but you know, sometimes that adds up. Before we start drawing the PNG, I just have to choose the expressions I want to use real quick. What I've been doing for hotkeys recently is shift and a number key. Because of this, I wanted to choose a maximum of 10 expressions, one for each number. I ended up doing 9, but if you have an idea for our 10th, let me know in the comments. I started with the same expressions as the original, and then I narrowed it down from there. The only real difference is that I removed the smug face and I changed the vibe of the happy one. I will preface this by saying this is the longest speed paint I have on my computer by far. I'll either have to speed up the speed paint, run out of stuff to talk about, or both. Probably both, honestly, but I won't know until editing. I was low-key dreading this stage, but it had to be done. Probably because, like, I've done this so many times before. I cut out the context part of the video, so you guys don't know. I've drawn so many PNGtuber designs for myself, and like all of them never got anywhere. So that sucked for me. Just like over and over. Oh, I'm gonna do this one. Doesn't work. I draw the whole thing, outfit and all, expressions and all. Doesn't go anywhere. It sucks. It didn't take too long to make the sketch thanks to the lasso and liquify tools. So there was a gap between where I stopped one day and picked it back up. This happened at least twice after this, but each time I was able to start working again not too long after I dropped it. What I think it was, I think I was scared to not make any progress on the drawing, and I'm not sure why. It was like either that or I thought it would be bad. Spoiler. It wasn't. Right before I was about to do line art, I found a new video on PNGtubers. Hopefully I would pick up some new tips to incorporate into my own little guide. And I was right. right. This is where I learned about something that would change my whole process.
I've come to find that there's one thing truly holding back everybody's PNGtubers. Stiff, unmoving poses. Look at the way
Hey, it's me, Craft Punk. What's good?
Yeah, the second clip looks undoubtedly a lot less lifelike than the first one. The head and the body stood completely still throughout, which doesn't look lifelike at all. Nobody talks like that. If he were to gesture his arms out like that, then surely his head and body would move a little bit. When they don't move at all, it makes it look robotic. It's
That's
pretty
true.
easy, although that doesn't fix the fact that his head is stuck in one direction, because we just redrew a face over the same head, whereas on the first clip, we redrew the head 4 times, which makes it look a lot more lifelike. So I'm afraid you can't get away with too much copy and pasting without making your character look like a stiff, lifeless robot. If you ask me, you need at least 3 base poses to cycle through to have a believable looking character.
see.
Having 2 of them is okay, but you don't want people to get fatigued by seeing the same 2 poses flick back and forth from one another. So generally 3 is a good starting point.
Noted. But should I commit to this? It's so last minute, and I would add so much more time to this project. I added 2 more base poses, and I don't regret a second of it. First of all, even though he just said you can't really warp the character to fit each perspective, I was still in the sketch stage, and I used my program's warp tool regardless, just because it would be easier than drawing more poses, and I was confident it would still look normal. I think the final result looks good, but is it perfect? Nope. Some things like the buttons are still warped, and I didn't entirely account for changing the perspective of a few things, and it's because I make a mistake later on. During line art, I traced a majority of the sketch word for word. That means the buttons look kinda oval, and the perspective of everything remains unchanged from the sketch. If I could go back and redo this whole thing, that's the one thing I'd want to get right. But overall, holy shit, my guy looks so much better. If I didn't have some kind of movement. 17-minute speed paint, by the way. Apparently, it's like 1 minute for every hour, and this is 17 hours. You know, it wouldn't be a redesign video without using the new one in the outro. Yeah! Thank you guys for watching. I'm so happy with how this turned out. I should use more expressions than these 2. I like how it picked up on my rapid key switching as talking. I know if I redesign my guy, I should redesign my profile picture and my banner and the little chibi I put under speed paints. Like, I don't want to do that right now. Art fight's coming up. Other stuff might come up. I already did all this work. Dude, I'm good for now. I know I should do it. I really should. I don't wanna. Not right now, anyway. No, look, I could totally get away with editing my profile picture. Okay, bye. This is my current VTuber. Don't look at me like that.